The Philly and Joe Podcast.
This is the Philly and Joe Podcast.
If you've been watching the NHL playoffs, you may have had your fill of that song. I don't know.
Well,
it's such a great
first two
song.
rounds for sure.
Oh, man. Yeah,
And it was a great promo, but it
When
just
it started?
kind of, yeah.
Triumph
It
is-
crossed the line. They laid it on the line, and then it was over the line.
We're into the Stanley Cup final now.
Wednesday.
Yes, Wednesday. You got a little layoff here the weekend. Why would you build on that momentum, NHL, when you could take
And you know what the best
1,
line of
2,
all was?
3,
The
4 days
announcer?
off?
The announcer goes, hey, the Stanley Cup final has been moved up till Wednesday because of the two series ending early.
Moved up?
Wednesday. They were probably plotting it going on the weekend, right? They like that weekend game in the U.S., but hey.
Well, and they thought that, sorry, Joe, but they thought a couple of these teams, the Stars, I'm looking at you, and the Hurricanes, I'm definitely looking at you. The NHL probably anticipated that they would show a friggin' pulse in the conference finals and some fight and some pushback, but no, they rolled over.
It's amazing how many of the first two round matchups were really, really good and tight, but then all of a sudden you see the separation. Like Florida and Edmonton, the two elite teams are meeting up. If you're just a hockey purist, that makes total sense, though, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah.
If it's as good as last year's series in the comeback, man, I don't know. But think about this. So Florida's been in 3 in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Edmonton's been 2 in a row. And you figure, what are they going to learn from their loss? Well, Florida learned against Vegas. If you remember, that series was 4-1 in the Stanley Cup final. Like, that's not a good Stanley Cup final. And they came back and won it next year. So we'll see what Edmonton has learned. And there's a lot of that Canadiana going on right now, too, right? That it's been a long time since a Canadian team
93
has won one. So,
look, I can complain all I want about the conference finals not being good, but it's abundantly clear the two best teams are in the Stanley Cup final. The Oilers are just rolling through teams on this run. The Panthers, they got pushed hard by the Leafs of all teams.
Yeah.
The Leafs were very close in that series to going up 3-0, if you'll remember.
Yeah.
It was an overtime game that Florida won, and they had to come back in that game to make it 2-1.
why are you asking me if I remember? There's still highlights of the Leafs loss going on the playoffs.
I think the panel is still talking about the Leafs in between periods. Yeah, great stuff by the Oilers, but let's go back to the Leafs. But anyway, yeah, these are obviously the two best teams, so it's going to be one hell of a series.
Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to it. I've been watching most of the playoffs because I bet on games. But I'll tell you, man, this is going to be a tough one to bet. And you kind of bet game by game. Game 1 is in Edmonton.
Okay, well, eat well this weekend, Joe, so that we can have a gut feeling next week on the Stanley Cup final.
Oh,
Does
yeah,
that
I
work
always
for
try and eat well. Someone asked who won in 1993, and I'll let you answer the question because here
You're
we go.
asking me?
Here
The
we go.
Montreal Canadiens. That was the Jacques Demers coached Habs.
Here we go, all
Kurt
the
Muller,
details.
Patrick Waugh. Come on.
This is Philopedia.
Philly Joe Podcast.
The Philly and Joe Podcast.
There was a call yesterday of a gentleman who was mentioning about people that drive right up to the barricade before they cut in because their time is more precious than anybody else's. Well, I have to say, it doesn't take a barricade. You get these a-holes that are self-entitled and privileged, and their time is more important than everybody else's. And Donald turning on to Stradbrook, it exacerbates the problem because people are cutting in at the front of the line. And then you get these super assholes that
super asshole.
take a 2-lane turn onto Stradbrook.
Is that a superhero?
Wake up, people. Wait in line like the rest of us.
It's not a bird. It's not a plane. It's super asshole.
Hey, they don't all wear capes or pants.
Now, I assume he's not referring to zippering situations.
No.
He's referring to just, cutting in front of people.
There are people that do that. And you know what, Phil, since you mentioned the other day, there's a lack of waving going on recently. I had it happen to me twice, no wave, and it made me think of what you said the other day. I hadn't realized it till, that's too bad.
Yeah, it's bothersome, but What are you going to do? Lots of conversation about canned meat on this program. Well, me specifically, I love talking about it.
One of us will eat it.
The other won't. It was Hereford yesterday.
Yeah.
Talking about it was actually some meat in a bag, I believe.
Good morning, 92 gentlemen. Was just listening to the Bone Throne, and I think you got a little confused with your beef in a bag thing. Hereford, I don't think it's a brand name. That's actually the cattle. That's the meat you would be eating, as far as I know. But, anyways, you guys have a brilliant and bright day. Bye-bye.
Well, I don't no one wants to be corrected, but I'm looking at it right now. Corned beef in a can, Hereford brand. So it is a brand.
And a couple people did mention the corned beef specifically. Mm-hmm. So there's Hereford corned beef comes in a can. Is it like flaked corned beef then? I would guess, right?
It probably comes out in that jelly. It's got the jelly on it and the cube.
There's nothing to say that Hereford couldn't be a type of cattle and somebody used it as a company name. So there's kind of two rights here.
Thank you.
And hey, when it's canned beef, it's never wrong.
Oh,
right?
Yes.
2 cans.
Throw some of that in with some eggs. Wonderful.
Try that this weekend, Phil.
You know what? I might pick up a couple cans on the way home from work today. Surprise the family with dinner tonight.
Nobody will be more shocked than your wife.
Corned beef in a can. Okay, Vinny wants to weigh in on the Edmonton Oilers and the little Winnipeg Jets in here.
Like, why couldn't the Jets play like Edmonton? Edmonton has a really good system. They seem calm. That's how you win games. They're so calm. If they had a system like Edmonton Oilers, and the Jets would be going somewhere. Then there's a chance they win the cup. Maybe one day they'll straighten out, hire some. I'm not saying get rid of all the players, but keep Scheifele. And I heard Wheelers is leaving. That's not good. No, Ehlers? Yeah, Ehlers.
Wheelers is
I keep him.
As a combination.
But, you got to get rid of a lot of players and
get rid of a lot.
Start over.
What? Start over?
Got to get a good system. I don't know if the Jets will ever get a good system going.
Oh.
They've had, 30 years to clean it up? They still haven't cleaned it up. They're a freaking mess.
What a start over. Freaking mess. They won the President's Trophy.
The year before, finished 4th. And I guess he's looking at, he's still got a little salt going on from the playoffs. You know what's interesting is their head coach, though, Knobloch. This guy. You talk about calm. Vinny's not wrong about him. That guy couldn't get. I don't think he's ever yelled at anybody in his life. But
he's good for that team.
First team. 2 years.
Yep.
He's already going to the Stanley Cup final twice. Interesting. But the news came out yesterday, and it got a lot of buzz in this area too. Was the Jonathan Toews. Of course,
right.
Captain Sirius wants to make a return. He's told the NHL, and there's been a lot of buzz whether
he'd come here.
That's got to be one of the top. But apparently, he'll get a lot of looks for people. I mean, he's a great centerman. He's 37 years of age now. Mm-hmm. Been off the last couple of years, so interesting.
On the text line, someone says Hereford is a brand of cattle, Philly. Yeah, no, that's what we said. Yes, but it's also a brand of canned meat.
And so 2 rights. Have created, We're
both right.
You're both right. You and the Boston Pizza text line.
Yeah. Philly, do not let them mock canned meat. That's another text.
That's it. That's a camping staple. That is true.
I will always stand up for canned meat. Don't you worry.
Absolutely. Okay. You should be a spokesperson.
I would. That'd be great. Okay, let's wrap up with this one here. The Rager, little did we know, he's a soccer coach.
I'm calling to be thankful that I decided to be a coach for my son's soccer team a number of years back and have continued with it. You guys, we've been talking a lot about the NHL playoffs, NBA. You want to see some real edge-of-your-seat sports action? You head on down to the Garden City soccer fields every Monday and Wednesday, and you come and watch the Garden City Blue Devils under-8 soccer team kick some butt. These kids are amazing. I got to tell you, it's one of the best feelings in the world, watching these kids learn the game so well, and now they've really understood the passing and making plays. That's what makes the Rager wake up in the morning with a smile on and not wanting to scream at the phone every day. The Garden City Blue Devils, you guys are awesome. Great kids. We got Harlow the Barbarian. We got the Superman Kal-El. We got Ethan the Giant. We got the Wild Man Luke. All the stars are out there for the under-8 Garden City Soccer League, guys. Everybody have a great day. Have a great weekend. Ranger, out!
I want more shout-outs to your soccer team, baseball team, hockey team. I love that.
We just had like our Winnipeg version of Ted Lasso right there with the Ranger. I want a Blue Devils. I want a jersey.
You want a shirt?
Blue Devils? What a great name.
It is.
The Philly and Joe Podcast.
I want to bring this up if I can because CAA has released its list of the worst roads in Manitoba.
Oh, yeah.
And it's interesting because it is Manitoba, but there's only one Winnipeg street that actually cracked the top 10. So I guess you could look at that two ways. Does it mean it's that bad out on the provincial highways in a lot of spots? Probably, I guess, if they're taking up 9 of the 10 spots. Or who are more of the people voting, right?
That's what it must be. The guys, you know what? People who drive for a living, people who drive outside, would also drive a lot outside the city, right?
Yeah. And I did not look up Provincial Trunk Highway 34, but that was the number one. If you can...
You're on it all the time,
It
Joe.
was under the radar until this list came up. But if you can tell us what Provincial Trunk Highway 34 is, we'll get that out. But the only Winnipeg street to crack the top 10, and it is a bad one, and it's been a bad one every year for God knows how many years, Saskatchewan Avenue. And it's so busy with truck work, right? Like people driving truck and that. They would be the ones to tell you. If they're having a hard time on a road like Saskatchewan, that can't be good for smaller vehicles.
Hot dog guy on the text line says the number 12 between Steinbach and St. Anne is awful.
Yeah.
They're finally fixing that whole stretch. I think they should do a list that's outside the city and a list that's inside the city.
Agreed.
Because that would be a great list. We could make a top 20 inside the city of terrible roads. No problem. Like we could put that together in an hour here with Philly and Joe this morning. You know what? If you want to throw one at us this morning and we'll make a list.
Yeah, and I guarantee you there won't be one of them on the list that someone's going to go, no, it's not that bad.
This is the Philly and Joe Podcast.
Joe, you missed, and you had important places to be. Don't get me wrong. But there was a staff lunch yesterday, and it was Pierogi Planet.
Tremendous.
Oh, it was good. Yeah, and the pierogies. When you're called Pierogi Planet, it's a given. The pierogies are awesome, and they were good.
Well, they got to be really good because they're their own planet.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean? Out of this world.
You can't have a name like Pierogi Planet and it's like the pierogies are meh. You like that would never happen. They're good. Yeah, very good.
I heard the coleslaw was fantastic.
So you've already heard stories about this.
That's what I'm telling you.
This staff lunch yesterday. That's how good it was.
How were the meatballs?
Oh, that's what I was getting at. They had both sweet and sour.
Oh.
And mushroom sauce.
Both types?
Yes, they did. And
whoever ordered the food, kudos. I got to find out.
Missy. Good
Missy
morning.
did?
Isn't she usually on? Yeah,
I
she
would
brought
think
it in.
so.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. If I'm going to ever run an event, I'm getting Missy to book the food.
Because
she that's a talent.
And the reason I thought of you right away is you and I love the mushroom sauce meatballs.
Yeah,
we
I
love
can
meatballs.
do sweet and sour too, but they're not my first option. It would be the mushroom gravy.
Guess who went in first? They're always looking for a staff member to jump in line and go first. This guy right here.
Really?
I went
That's
first.
That's not usually your MO.
I'll go first, sure.
Yeah, but I mean, you're not usually. You'll let other people go ahead of you, is what I'm saying.
A couple people nominated me. They're like, Aubrey, you got to go. We know you're willing.
Because every office has that person. You can almost, you could bet on it. There'd be a crowd-on favorite to be the first person always to get in the line.
And I'm going to throw this up. You know what? And it's a compliment. Riley, our engineer, he's a guy, like he doesn't come back light on that plate. So if you're saying every crowd, every workplace has a guy who will go first or a girl, Riley would be one of those guys I would nominate.
Riley's not going swimming within an hour. He's waiting after the lunch.
He's going in heavy.
That's good.
But I went light on the first plate because you never really know. It's a big crowd there. It's a staff meeting. I don't want to take too much. I went light on the first time through the buffet, and then I noticed there was lots of leftovers, so I went back in and loaded. On that second time through, I loaded up the meatballs.
Different paper plate then.
No, it's same paper
plate. Well, that must have been a good paper plate with that kind of gravy sopping into the cardboard.
Yeah, you're supposed to go different plate, right, in the buffet line?
You should, but that's okay. It's a staff. It wasn't. You weren't in a real buffet.
It wasn't at
restaurant.
the Royal Fork.
Yeah.
Canada's buffet.
Changing the rules at Altos.
No, it was fabulous, and it was a hell of a staff meeting. And I just wanted to let you know that I didn't bring you any meatballs. I didn't stick around to see if there was leftovers. You should check one of the fridges here. There might be.
It was a nice celebration, being voted the number one morning show and radio station in the city. So thanks to everybody who took part in that.
Definitely. We appreciate it. Hey, we got the name game coming up in just a little over 5 minutes. The name game. That's where we get you on the line. We ask you a few questions, and then we guess your name. We're clipping along at about a 93% success rate.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
At least
a lot of hitters in Major League Baseball would love to have that kind of percentage.
You're damn right, and it's coming up, the name game.
For more Philly and Joe, plug it into 92.1 City weekday mornings 6 to 10.
780 City, 780-2484 if you'd like to play the name game. You know, something has reached a whole nother level when we have people, specifically Big N, on the text line early this morning, guessing what he thinks the names are going to be.
Yep.
We're talking like 2 hours before we even play the game, and he's on there going, I think it's going to be one of these names today.
Yeah, and he actually picked our names. Saw a picture of us on the Seeker app, and he had a feeling the vibe was it was going to be a Joe or a Phil today.
Okay. Well,
Could be right. He's been right before.
Big N, yeah. Hi, City, you want to play the name game?
Cheers!
Whoa.
Sure.
Yeah, you want to play?
Sure.
Okay.
All right.
How old are you? We always start with that one.
60.
60. Have you played the name game before? Have we, No, you haven't?
Nope.
Okay, 60 years old. Going to ask you a series of questions and then guess your name. I'll start. Do you spend any time clearing your throat and nose in the morning? You know those sounds that your partner loves? That sort of stuff.
Yes.
Yes. See, there it is.
Sure, on command.
All men do it. It's a rite of passage. Okay, next question. Crocs, do you own a pair?
No, I do not.
You do not own a pair of Crocs. What's your typical summer footwear?
Skechers.
All right, they're comfortable.
Yeah, the slip-on ones are so easy.
With my plantar fasciitis, I might have to look at some.
Yeah, they've got the extra
See what my dad wears.
comfort.
Okay, final question. We're going to go 3 each. If you don't have a third, Joe, no problem, but I'll go with this one. Do you have any spare parts kicking around for a CPAP machine? Joe, his is giving him the check engine light. He's going to have to get a new one or fix the old one. Do you have any spare parts?
I have none. Sorry about that, Joe.
No, that's okay. I've just in the middle of a purchase of a new one.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I can't wait for that to show up at the door.
Has it got any new technology?
I haven't. I'm ordering it this weekend.
Okay.
I'm looking at a couple of different types, but
Let us know.
your favorite ball cap. What's the logo on your favorite ball cap?
The big W for the big blue.
Yeah.
Nice. Tonight in Saskatchewan. Gonna have to watch it on the computer or figure out a way to stream it on my TV.
Like, why can't we get those on TV?
Yeah, CFL.ca.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, preseason in Saskatchewan.
What are we going to be watching that we can't have CFL
I'll
on
have
TSN?
I'll have to look at what the
Exactly.
TSN option is tonight. I only have all 4 or 5 of the channels we're paying for.
5 channels.
It's croquet or something like that.
You better believe it. It'll be something ridiculous.
I think they're replaying the Leafs loss to Florida. What was your first job and what did it pay?
I was a car detailer for Tilden Car Rentals, and it paid me $3.49 an hour.
Look at this guy.
A
Are
car
you any
de-
good?
Do you still car detail? Because that's an art. Do you do it
I
for
still do.
yourself?
It's one of my favorite things to do, but yes, I do it for myself, my sisters, stuff like that.
That's awesome. And at one time you got paid. Not a lot, but you got paid to do it. Wow. And your mother's first name?
Joanne.
Joanne.
Okay. Time to guess. 60 years old. I'm going to say you're a Warren.
Warren? No.
Not Warren?
Okay.
No, but it sounds similar.
Sounds similar to Warren.
Yeah. You know what?
It doesn't start with a W though.
No, my
Okay.
first guest really was going to be Brian.
No.
How about Lauren?
That's even closer.
Lauren and Warren?
No L.
No L.
Lauren. Bjorn. No.
The guy loves tennis. He's competing in the strongman competition. Bjorn. Aaron.
Nope.
I knew a kid growing up named Oren. Could it be Oren? It's not a very common name.
How about Norm?
You guys are all. There you go.
Norm!
We got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like the closer these guys are in our demo, it's like we nail it. Like 60 years old. It's just
You know what? You sound like a Norm too.
You do,
Like sometimes it doesn't always, the sound doesn't go with the name. But I could. Hey, Normie, what's going on?
I gave you a hint right at the beginning when you guys said good morning. I said cheers.
Oh yeah.
Subtle. We didn't.
Subtle.
Trust me, we didn't catch that hint.
No. You're asking too much of us.
It was a great hint, Norm, but it was.
I really do wish it was Bjorn, but you know what?
Oh yeah,
we'll take the W. Thanks for playing this morning, Norm.
Have yourself a great day, guys.
You too, man.
This is the Philly and Joe podcast.
Be a good person.
Rate or review this show wherever you subscribe and get P&J into more ears.
The average person does this about 15 times a day. 15 times a day, the average person is doing this. Some of the answers are actually pretty interesting that came in from this survey.
You got top 5?
I do. And number 1 will get you the prize package.
All right.
And I think this has been a game changer since you offered up the Boston Pizza text line as a place to use as lifelines.
Yes.
I think it's brought up the level to like Mensa type answers.
See, but it's always the most recent text.
Yes.
And you can get, like yesterday,
So
there's
it's a
something
lottery.
Right. You can get a great answer, or yesterday you got diarrhea at one point. So
Yeah.
it's like, you don't know what you're going to get.
Well, I'll tell you what, at some point, with law of averages, completely useless question, the answer will be diarrhea.
Yeah.
At some point, but not today. I will give you a hint right off the get-go.
We already got pleasure yourself on the text line. That's another good example.
15 times a day.
What?
Holy cow.
I salute you. 780 City, good morning. You have a guess for us?
Let's go with Philly today. Get me the answer.
Philly it is.
Off the get-go, the average person does this about 15 times a day.
Check social media.
Oh, well, that's a great answer, but it did not crack the top 5.
Oh, come on. What kind of survey is
That's
this? When you get the answer wrong, you question the survey.
Absolutely.
Good morning, City, for Sea Bears tickets, among other things. Go ahead with your guess.
Good morning. Let's go with Philly.
Philly over at
Okay.
the text line. Okay.
The average person, Phil, does this 15 times a day. It's not check social media.
Sends a text message to their partner.
No.
Okay.
Nothing with technology.
So that wipes the. Okay, good. That eliminates 780 City. We are getting a lot of guesses on the text line if you decide to go that road as well. Hello there.
How does it laugh?
Laugh is number 2. Attaboy. Good.
Way to go.
Oh, darn.
Yeah, the average person will do that about 15 times a day. That's good.
Yeah.
If you're laughing 15 times a day, that's got to be a pretty good day.
Yeah, I mean, you think about it, that's not crazy. 780 City. Hello there.
Hey, good morning. Is it burp?
Burp is number 5.
Another good
That's
guess.
a lot of gas leaving the building.
Depends what you're up to. If you're having a few beers, I mean, that's easy.
Yeah, true.
For Winnipeg Sea Bears tickets, also a GC for Red Top, and a hot air balloon ride from Sundance. Go ahead.
I'm going to go with clear your throat or cough.
No, that's not it.
Just in the morning.
That's a good one.
Thank you for playing along. Completely useless trivia. 780 City. Hi there.
I'm going to go with letting one rip. Just fart.
No, nothing to do with ripping.
That's on the text line. That was one of the guesses as well. Healthy.
15 times a day. Yeah, well, if burping made the top 5.
Not supposed to hold that in. Hi, City.
Hey, does it have something to drink?
No, it's not. But this is kind of relatable to having a drink.
Relatable.
A beverage.
Relatable to having a drink.
Yeah, he's sniffing around the net here.
780 City, 780 2484. Go ahead. Hello.
Hey, Kate, how's it going? Can I get a lifeline?
Philly or the text line?
I'll get Philly.
Okay.
Nobody's trusting the text line today,
Yeah.
and it was right the other day.
It was, yeah. It's been right before. Wash their hands.
No, not wash your hands. I think you scared people off the text line when you said the one sample answer was diarrhea.
Well, listen, I was just having some fun. There are some
fun answers,
outrageous guesses, and then there's some really good guesses on the text line. If that's
you take the chance,
the route you decide to go. Good morning, City. Oh, you're breaking up a little bit there. We can do this. Oh, hello. Are you there? Are you there? Are you there? Do you need help?
Yes.
I don't think we're going to be.
Oh, no, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
There's something that doesn't seem to be connecting on your end there.
Yeah.
One more time.
Oh.
There we go.
Oh.
What is this? Is that better?
Yeah.
Better. It's perfect.
Sorry about that, guys.
No worries.
It's okay. Yeah. You had a payphone?
No, I'm on my cell phone.
Go ahead with your guess.
Actually, is there a lifeline left?
Yeah, there is. You want Philly or you want the text line?
I'll go with Philly this morning.
Okay, the average person does this about 15 times a day. I'm going to refresh the answers here. Burp was number 5. Okay. Laughing was number 2. I think those are the only 2 we've knocked off.
And you said the guy who had water or getting a drink was on the right path?
Yeah.
Did we do go to the bathroom?
No, we didn't.
Does it go to the bathroom?
No, it's not. But I will tell you this. Peeing is number 3. And I started laughing. I go, 15 times a day?
Oof,
how much water or beer are you drinking?
That's a lot.
Yeah, but that made the list.
Hello, City.
Can I get some help?
Yeah, you want the text line? You want the text line or you want Philly?
I'll do the text line.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We got yawning on here.
No, not yawning, but I will say this. Smile was number 4. The average person does this about 15 times a day, smile. So laughing was number 2. Peeing ended up being number 3. I don't believe that answer. Smile, number 4. And burping was number 5. This has nothing to do with any of the other 4 answers. But I'll tell you what. You talked about going to the bathroom and that kind of stuff. Let's keep it in the house, okay? Let's keep it in the house. Let's keep it in the kitchen.
In the kitchen?
There you go. Big clue.
Hi, City.
Hey, how about going into the refrigerator to get your beer?
How about that?
How about it?
How about it? The average person opens the fridge door approximately 15 times a day.
That's a lightweight.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I'm like every 5 minutes I'm looking.
I'll tell you what, if you're my size, you have to stay away from the fridge door, okay? So it's not a lightweight, it's usually a heavyweight. You're trying to curb the times you open that door. The pantry door is a whole different issue.
Oh, that's another door to open and look around. Like maybe in the last 5 minutes something magically appeared that I'll want. I got to look again.
The Philly and Joe Podcast.
This is the Philly and Joe Podcast.
Do I have something for you?
Oh, yay.
This movie, I don't know. I don't know if you're going to make it to the theater, if you can wait that long before it becomes streaming. But
what comes out this weekend?
Karate Kid Legends. And it's under the action drama category.
That's going to be good, I bet.
Well, not according to the tomato meter. 61%.
Damn it.
But it's The Recipe. Jackie Chan, Ralph Macchio, the nostalgia. Of course, Pat Morita passed away, so no more Mr. Miyagi, okay? I call him Miyagi.
Yeah,
he always correct me.
I corrected you the other day, Miyagi.
So I don't even know if I can say it, Miyagi.
There you go.
I got it, but it just doesn't come out right for me, right? It's Miyagi. It always has been.
Who would have known this series would have had such a resurgence, right? First with the Cobra Kai TV show, which is really popular. And now the movie. I'm disappointed to hear it's not getting good reviews already.
I don't see why not. After moving to New York with his mother, prodigy Li Fong struggles to let go of the past and fit in with his new classmates.
Oh, I recognize this plot.
With help from Mr. Han and Daniel LaRusso, he learns to merge 2 styles into one for the ultimate martial arts showdown. See, all they've done is they've amped it up, right? Now it's 2 styles.
And it's in New York.
And you get Mr. Han and Daniel LaRusso.
Mm-hmm. But the basis of these remain the same, right?
Yeah. Got to fit in.
Right. And even they redid it with Will Smith's kid, right? And it's always it's the same principles, move to a new neighborhood, getting bullied.
Yeah.
Got some old legend or some old karate guy.
What are
whether
the
it's-
odds you're going to have Mr. Hahn and Daniel LaRusso in the same area?
It's insane.
Like, if this is like, okay, Winnipeg, you don't see two mixed martial arts, places right next door to each other with two legends. The Karate Kid, I mean, what do you call the place? Right? Daniel LaRusso. Ralph Macchio, he doesn't look like somebody who's going to open up a can of whoop ass on anybody.
Like, what do you call his dojo?
Yeah, you got to go with.
I think it's Miyagi. I think in the Cobra Kai, it's Miyagi-Do.
That's where I got it wrong. I was looking at the Muyagi. I couldn't find it in the yellow pages.
You were looking for M-O-O.
The Philly and Joe Podcast.
Hit us up wherever you get this podcast and rate and review the show.
Good fortune will come to you.
Actually, we can't promise that, but we'll cross our fingers.